This is my solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Now, disclaimer, I'm an atheist, so that heavily biases me towards secularism. Although it is technically possible to be an atheist and to be for theocracy, it's just not going to happen very often. So, across the board, atheists tend to be for secularism. So my solution when it comes to Israel and Palestine is that there can be no end to the conflict so long as Israel remains a Jewish state. In other words, the solution is total secularization with no discrimination against any ethnic or religious group. So, right now, Israel does stuff like if you're Jewish you can move in easily, but Palestinians are stuck in an open-air prison and are discriminated against. And non-Jews are discriminated against. On top of that, they have a Jewish name to the country. Their flag has a Jewish symbol on it, and it's heavily connected to a religion. It's called the Jewish State of Israel. In other words, it needs to stop that. And I'm not for a two-state or a one-state solution. I'm for a new state solution. The current borders of Israel and Palestine should be reconstructed into a single state. That is, it wouldn't be called Israel or Palestine. It might get a new name to signify that this is a big transformation, that neither Israel or Palestine has defeated the other, but rather they're going a whole new route. And this, I don't know what to call this new state. I would leave that up to scholars who are more qualified to come up with a new name. But it would definitely need a new name, and it would need a new flag too. The current flag shows too much deference towards one religious group. So the new state would show no preference towards any ethnic or religious group at all, and absolutely no discrimination towards any one group. And also there would probably be an affirmative action program set up for Palestinians, because you need to integrate them into the new state as quickly as possible. You do not want them to remain as an out-group. They need to be assimilated into the new superstate, if you want to call it that, or this new state. And this new state would also do things like build massive interfaith centers all throughout the new country, in which people from all religious groups would meet. Christian, Jewish, Muslim, atheists even, and even other religions such as Zoroastrians, Sikhs, and even Eastern religions like Buddhists and Hindus. So it would be very dedicated to assimilating everyone into a new state, Palestinian and both Muslim and Jewish. And it would be very, very dedicated to secularism and not showing any preference for any religion. So there would be a complete and total separation of church and state. It would not be a Jewish state. It would be a secular state, a multicultural state, which it would welcome all kinds of people. So yeah, any kind of religious preference would not be involved at all. So that'd be my solution. It's probably not going to happen, and it probably sounds very utopian to most people, even though I believe it's the only solution. It's really the only way to stop the violence. There's only, actually the other way to stop the violence is to just let Israel genocide out all the Palestinians and just let them continue genociding. And once they're done genociding, their fascist state can rule over that whole area with a single ethnic group controlling the area. And it is a fascist state. There are two main elements to fascism. One is protectionism. Protectionism is sort of the idea that only your people should be allowed to have jobs in your area and work in your country, and you should only buy and have economic dealings with your own people. So protectionism usually has lots of tariffs, and they outlaw outsourcing and stuff like that. Very isolationist economically. And the other big element to fascism is the idea that a single ethnic group should dominate the state and the country, and that all other ethnic groups should be deported, discriminated against, and in some cases outright killed. In the case of Slobodan Milosevic, which if you don't know who that is, the whole remove kebab meme, it comes from him and his regime. and the guy that does the music that is associated with that term, he was with that guy. So yeah, it is fascist, which means that Palestine and Gaza, they're in fascist occupied territory, launching an insurgency against fascist occupation in the way that French civilians fought against Third Reich occupying their lands. So yeah, it's very, very difficult to be on the side of Israel. They seem like just an evil, fascist, totalitarian state. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe liberals can take over the Israeli government and make this happen, or maybe some external forces would have to come in. Like maybe one of the big countries would have to invade Israel and then set up this new state solution, totally eliminating lines between Israel and Palestine, and make a new multicultural, liberal, modern state. And that's my solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.